that was a feature on nomadic education in Nigeria. We have a guest in the studio to throw more light on that. It is my pleasure to welcome Honorable Yahaya Isa. He is a chairman, Miyeti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in FCT, and the president, Hausawa and Fulani original inhabitants of FCT. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Barka da zuwa.
Yes,
Ali, that is Hausa.
more or less the original inhabitants.
So how do we say it in Fulatanchi?
Lalemo.
Oh,
Lalem,
Yeah.
Lalemo.
Lale.
Lale, lale.
welcome. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you
Yes,
very
we looked about that feature on nomadic education. Let's take the discussion from there. Talk to us. How has nomadic education evolved in Nigeria over the years?
Well, thank you very much. First of all, we have to thank God, and of course, we have to appreciate the administration of the military head of state at that time, General Ibrahim Babangida, courtesy of Professor Jibril Aminu, who initiated the idea of nomadic education, who is all complete. And I so much believe that, the positions of the pastoralists at that time, whom the idea of nomadic education was introduced in order to bring them to the lion's line of education was very, very significant. And they were, of course, left behind. They were far away from the system when you talk of the Western education, just as it was the case when the Western education was introduced to Western Sudan, subsequently to Nigeria, and so on. So many of our parents does not want to hear about Western education. So also as at that time, if not up till now, the perception or the understanding of the pastoralists in Nigeria, whom you much more call herders, they really doesn't understand much about Western education. But thank God, the introduction of nomadic education has introduced a lot of light. It has brightened the system. It has brightened their mind. Today we can tell you in confidence, with special reference to the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, where I belong to as an indigenous, and then of course the indigenous Fulani of the Federal Capital Territory, who are like any other tribe in the Federal Capital Territory, have of course benefited immensely. The system commenced in 1989, was building a particular school in a place in Kwali Area Council called Rugan Sarkin Fulani Alhaji Bayraje. The school was established there. After that one, the next was the one in my place, which is Tudu Fulani Wari, was also introduced established in 1989, and I opened the school as the headmaster.
Wow,
yes,
that's a
because
good
of
one.
my enthusiasm to see that my younger ones have become educated. That was the very year I got admission to Usman Danfodio University to read my first degree, but the fact I had to defer the admissions because I had to open that school. There was nowhere we could not go. By that time, the headquarters was in Kaduna with the Professor Kuno Bello Kalia as the chairman, Professor Izoma as the executive secretary. As at that time, I can tell you in confidence, apart from myself, there was no any single Fulani boy in Abuja that thought of the way to school. Only me. So as that one was introduced, today I can tell you in so many, as I said with FCT as a special as reference, we have no less than 70 nomadic primary school today in the Federal Capital Territory.
Very interesting.
And here we are talking of the graduate, those that have graduated from primary school, secondary school, NCE, diploma, degree, and so on. I'm telling you, we can boast of over 200 graduate today, which are all product of nomadic education. The only thing is that many of them could not have good attention by the government of FCT in terms of employment, so as to encourage and boost the morale of others. But tremendously, despite the fact that the component of nomadic education was not implemented exactly, because according to the guiding principle that introduced or established nomadic education, there was supposed to be such a even boarding facilities with a view to cater for those true nomad pastorally that move from one point to another so that they can have where they can admit their children. They remain there being attended. When the school vacated, they will now come and carry them. When the school resumed, they will come and bring back their students, their pupils. But unfortunately, government could not be able to meet up with that. That is why till today we are unable to get it exactly as we think we should get, because whether we like it or not, there are some who cannot be in that particular places, and there is nobody who can take charge or take care of their children if they sought to admit them into the school. So that becomes a kind of predicament for them to enroll the children as they want in the school.
Okay, now let me ask this question. You are doing a very good job. So we must commend you for that.
Thank you very
taking
much.
all these children out of the streets and putting them in schools, making sure that they have a future for themselves so that they can also be useful to themselves and to the society at large. Now, I want to know, how do you get to convince them and their parents to take them off what they are doing, to convince them to say, come and take formal education? Is it a difficult task?
Well, if you are in a system of somebody, if I am like you or you are like me, it is not going to be difficult for you to understand me.
Absolutely.
Not even in terms of language barriers.
Mhm.
If they know and you know, what you are doing is what I'm doing too.
Exactly.
Forget the fact that I'm in school. You understand? I
Mhm.
was born and bred up in a system. I rear cattle to a certain level
Okay.
by myself. Even now, nothing's as part of that business that is new to me. If I got to our settlement now, I change. I start milking the milk. You never know that I'm the one.
Yeah.
So that is that recognition of oneness is there. So it make it very easy for them to understand I'm not a new person. I'm not coming from somewhere that they will think whether I'm giving them an idea that will be harmful to them. And that is why today I'm telling you, I left Jamiyati Allah when I participated in politics for about 15 or 20 years. They dropped me back. You understand? To come and lead them here is because they know I'm part and parcel of them. I know the ideologies, I know the approach, I know the cultural perception among all of us. So it is not a difficult thing. And of course, they have also been sharing a kind of culture with other people, particularly in a place like Abuja that is now being exposed. The Fulani in the bush, you see them speaking. Nobody does not speak this pidgin English. We are speaking pidgin English. So if they don't close to people, they don't understand this.
Yeah.
So it is not a difficult thing at all. You
Okay,
understand?
now that you are able to tell us that, yes, they will listen to you because you are coming to talk to them in the same language.
Even if it is not in the same language.
Yes, but it's better if
Yeah.
you're coming to
Yes, of
convince
course.
them.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll now say this is part of our
Our
own.
person,
It's not
yes.
leading us
Astray.
astray.
At all.
Now let's talk about some of the government policies or initiative aimed at improving nomadic education in Nigeria. Talk to us about some of government policies.
Well, like I said earlier, some of these policies is of course when they discover that the nomadic education cannot stand on its own. You understand? The idea of National Universal Basic Education Commission coming in through the Universal Basic Education Board is one of the major policies that intervene and assist immensely in terms of educating these students. Like today in FCT, I say we have about 65 to 70 schools. You discover that the funding of teachers, provisions of the materials, and so on, largely is being done by Universal Basic Education Board in FCT here. So this is one of the government policy that support the idea of nomadic education. And at the same time, of course, the orientations, in most cases, they listen to us. Government give us attention as an organization when we go there to appeal to them in terms of any challenges, particularly with the Ministry of Agri. You understand? They come in support of the pastorally. So also the security challenges. When we have any issue, the policy of government, of course, facilitate it easy for the security to intervene in whatever situation we are facing and so on. And of course, in terms of other infrastructures, cattle drugs and so on, the always government every annually in FCTL, annually we receive vaccination free.
Okay.
And with the attempt or idea of this anthrax disease
Yes,
that
yes.
is so deadly was said to have penetrated into Nigerians through Niger State. Before you know, whopping amount of money was approved,
Yeah,
and the department went and bought the whole vaccination. I can tell you in confidence, except some of extraordinary few number of cattle that were not vaccinated, and of course, if they could not be identified, I can tell you that FCT have vaccinated 99.5% of the livestock in FCT.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
your
much.
time with us on the
Yes,
program this morning.
thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have been talking about nomadic education in Nigeria as a whole, with reference to the Federal Capital Territory, with the Honorable Chairman Mayeti Allah FCT Abuja, Yahaya Isa. He has talked to us a lot.